The book goes in there. I honestly could have put the book in there before we even started. It's been that kind of a day. Hello! Welcome back to the Spoony Stitcher channel. I'm Shannon the Spoony Stitcher, you're inside the Stitchery, and I'm so happy you're here today. If you're new, hi! I'm Shannon. I'm the Spoony Stitcher. A Spoonie is somebody who has a chronic condition, and a Stitcher is somebody who makes art with textiles. This channel is all about creativity. Anything that makes your creative juices flowing, that's what we try to do on this channel. We've got baking, we've got cooking, we've got art, we've got crafting, we've got stuff with textiles, we've got animation, movie talk, all kinds of stuff on this channel. So if that sounds like something that sounds fun to you, maybe hit the subscribe button. Oh wait. Thank you so much. Maybe hit like button while you're down there as well. That tells the algorithm you want more stuff like this. Today, I don't know what we're gonna do, but stay tuned and we'll have fun together. This is Gift or Garbage! Yay! My series where we talk about if something is actually worth your money or if it belongs in the trash. Or maybe not the trash, maybe you can donate it to somebody, but anyway. I'm going to be brutally honest, no companies are paying me. I bought all of these with my own money, and some of these are real garbage. But let's find out if that's one today. So, what makes something a gift? 1. Is it well priced? Is it a good value for what it is? 2. Is it appropriate for the audience that it's geared for? 3. Are the items usable, user-friendly, easy to navigate? All kinds of things can fit in this category. And 4, specifically for this channel, is it Spoonie approved? Do I believe that somebody who has different Spoonie conditions could operate this product? If it doesn't match any of these things, it's garbage. If it matches a few of them, it still might be a gift, but we want to check all of our boxes here. So let's find out if this is gift or garbage. Hello! Happy Star Wars Day! Why am I wearing Snoopy? I have no Star Wars. I'm not a Star Wars fan. I like the movies. I do. I'm just not a Star Wars fan. So I don't have any Star Wars merch or anything to wear. So I figured out Snoopy was pretty neutral, and word on the street is he's a Star Wars fan. So, you know, I figure he's pretty neutral. Anyway, thank you so much for being here today. I'm so happy. Happy Star Wars Day to all my nerd friends out there. And may the 4th be with you. Yeah, that's why that video is coming out today. Yeah. Before we get started, because today we are talking about the book Star Wars Crochet Kit. But before we get started, if you want some free patterns, I have my little Ewok tot. Very easy, very beginner friendly. Do not be intimidated by the fur. All you do is brush it, or you don't have to do that. Look, I even left this one little patch right here. That's what it'll look like if you don't brush it. But just take a toothbrush, like an old toothbrush, and go ch-ch-ch-ch-ch-ch. I literally have a video all about brushing yarn. Yeah, it's under tutorials. Anyway, this is my little Ewok tot. He's so cute. He is on my Facebook group. If you join the Facebook group, you can make him. I also have my little Yoda tot, which is just Dobby in green and brown. And Dobby has a tutorial. He is the little Christmas elf. And you just leave off the nose. I did change the eyes to an 8mm. Dobby's eyes are a 6mm. And I have a little, I make a little collar. And this one is also on the Facebook group if you want to know how to make it. So, but basically you make Dobby in green and change the eye size. So there's Baby Yoda. So those are 2 free patterns if today's patterns frustrate you. Let's go to the original footage for this video and buckle up, it's a ride. This is a crochet kit review. The book goes in there. I honestly could have put the book in there before we even started. It's been that kind of a day. Anyway, This is the Star Wars crochet kit by Lucy Collin. And I think this is another, yep, Thunder Bay Press. So it says 12 projects from a galaxy far, far away. Includes everything you need to make Yoda and R2-D2. So let's open this. I think the stuffing's underneath. So right now you see the safety eyes, the yarn, and the little hook, which is metal, thank goodness. An empty box. Okay, here's the yarn. Aha! Stuffing. And this has safety eyes, but it also has a little bit of thread and a metal needle. Oh yes, and the hook is very small. Come on. There we go. This is a 3.25 millimeter hook in the tapered style or the boy style. It is just a stick. But at least it's metal. Is it straight though? A lot of these have been off. If it is, it's just barely off and won't affect how you crochet at all. But it looks pretty straight to me. Okay. I have all these box pieces here. Okay, so we have white, silver, and blue for our little R2-D2, sage, tan, and brown for Yoda. I am not using that yarn. I can't. It is so gross feeling. It feels sticky and dry and very plasticky. No. So the yarn is a no. So inside the book you have the introduction about this kit, what's included in your kit, so you can make sure that this matches what you actually got. So let's see. This kit contains the materials you need to make one Yoda and one R2-D2. They're very clear about that. Included is the following: a 3.25 millimeter steel crochet hook, a metal tapestry needle, yarn in pale green, dark brown, beige, black, white, silver, blue, black. Oh, maybe it's that. Safety eyes and stuffing. That's what we got. They have the abbreviation chart in case you don't know. Oh, by the way, this is a Disney licensed collaboration. Tells you a little bit about the yarn, stitch markers, techniques, like how to do basic things. And then we have the patterns. So we have Yoda in his little outfit here. So cute. This is definitely grown-up Yoda. Once leader of the Jedi Council, Yoda retired to the swamps of Dagobah. Despite his unassuming appearance, he is a powerful, wise old Jedi. It is Yoda who will train Luke in the way of the Force. So that's project number 1, and supposedly it does come with enough yarn to make one of those. I would love to test that for you guys, but the texture on this thing just makes me cringe. I can't. Sorry. Next, you can make a stormtrooper. These dedicated soldiers are found all over the galaxy in the service of the Empire. Clad in their white armor, they are fearless and intimidating. They show imperial strength, although they are strangely vulnerable to attacks by Ewoks. That's a pretty cool one. Definitely looks like a stormtrooper to me. I like the color changes too. C-3PO! This protocol droid's devotion to his friend R2-D2 routinely lands him up in danger, much to his own horror. But no matter where C-3PO ends up, he tries to be the most helpful. He is so cute. Maybe I should make this one. I don't know. So many cute options in here. Which one should I make? Aww. Look at that. Best friends. So cute. Princess Leia. As a politician and diplomat, the young princess is a force to be reckoned with, but she is even more dangerous with a blaster in her hand. As a leader of the Rebel Alliance, she is determined to overthrow the Empire. She looks great here. I really like the way she's made. I do wish she had eyelashes, but that's about it. Aww! Wicket the Ewok. Hey, that looks like mine. Kinda. Sorta. Brave and curious, Wicket befriends Princess Leia on the forest moon of Endor. Although small, Wicket and other Ewoks lend a huge hand to help the Rebel Alliance attack the Imperial forces. He's so cute. Maybe I'll make this one. Luke Skywalker. A farm boy raised on a remote planet of Tatooine, Luke is thrust into the middle of the rebellion against the Galactic Empire. In the process, he discovers that his Force abilities and strength with the lightsaber rival those of most feared in the galaxy, his father. Ooh. I like that they include those. R2-D2! I love R2-D2. Maybe I should make R2-D2. I can't decide. Despite his limited style of communicating, this tough little astromech droid has a strong personality. A determined rebel, R2 is useful to have around in a tight spot. So cute! I'm not seeing any levels or anything like beginner, intermediate. I'm not seeing any of those. It does tell you all the materials you need for each one, but... Oh. Wait a minute. I just noticed something. R2-D2. It says right here, 3.5 E millimeter hook. Look at that. Can you see it? I may have to take a picture of it, but 3.5. They gave us a 3.25. And in the materials list in the beginning that I read, 3.25. Let me go back. Were any of the other ones the wrong size? I wasn't even paying attention. Luke is 3.5. Wicket is 3.5. Leia is 3.5. C-3PO, 3.5. Stormtrooper, E, 3.5. And Yoda, 3.5. They gave us the wrong size hook, but they even mentioned what it is in the beginning. Oh dear. This isn't looking good. Han Solo, also a 3.5, which we don't have. Han Solo. A smuggler with a heart of gold, Han is pulled into the rebellion against his better judgment. As a pilot of the Millennium Falcon, he wins the love of Princess Leia and almost outsmarts Boba Fett. Using a 3.5 millimeter hook, you can make this cute little guy. Again with the feet. I'm not a fan of the feet. On the animals it looks cute, but on the humans... Aw, Chewie! He looks so cute! Chewbacca. Han Solo's best friend and co-pilot, this imposing Wookiee is a clever mechanic and a fearsome fighter. But his loyalty to his friends, that's what makes Chewbacca a formidable asset to the rebellion. He's so cute. Also made with a 3.5. Anyway, he's cute. Aww. And of course you brush him out so that he gets that furry look. That's how you make my Ewok too. Darth Vader. More machine than man, Vader's menacing figure is a symbol of power and fear in the Empire. He is a powerful Sith Lord, obedient to the Emperor until his humanity is reawakened by the appearance of his son, Luke. Wow. They got a lot of little buttons and stuff that they had to include on him. Whew. I will be honest. For Darth Vader and for the Stormtroopers, wouldn't they look better without the safety eyes? At all? I feel like it's unnecessary. Because they're masks, you know? I think I'd make them without the safety eyes. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. For this one, you need a little piece of black felt, and they give you the little template so that you can make his cape. I like it. Boba Fett. Boba Fett's face is always hidden under his iconic helmet, but his reputation as a bounty hunter is known far and wide. Employed by Darth Vader to track the rebels, he pursues and captures Han Solo, only to freeze him in carbonite and turn him over to Jabba the Hutt. This one could be tricky for a lot of people. A lot of color changes. Oof. Couple of tricky stitches too. But if you're game, it's gonna look really cool. There's some surface crochet, some embroidery. Yeah, this one's gonna take a lot of work. But it does look really cool. Jabba the Hutt, of course. Immense both in size and in the reach of his criminal empire, Jabba the Hutt is highly intelligent and utterly relentless. He doesn't accept failure, and he enjoys watching his victims suffer. Okay. He looks really cool. I wish they'd included the yarn that makes him, because it's it's definitely a variegated yarn. I wonder what that is. It does not say. It says green yarn. That is not green. Clearly there is something going on in that color. I can see like 3 other colors in that yarn. I wish they'd told us what they actually used to make these. That happens in all of these, not just this one. There's the real picture of him. I'll spare you. Ugh. Oh, but this is cute. Best friends. Okay, so that's everything you can make in your book. Now I have to decide which one I'm going to make. I bought this kit on Amazon for $25. Well, actually, I didn't pay that. I only buy the sales, thank you. But the reviews on this kit are mostly positive, but if you read them closely, you'll notice something. Like, very few photos. Lots were gifts and given to other people, and those who actually did make the kit used kind of a similar language to other reviewers that made the kit. Almost as if they were bots or maybe even the same person. But of course, I'm here to see for myself if this is gift or garbage. Let's make something. So I wanted to pause here real quickly. The directions say that I am supposed to crochet over this chain. Ordinarily, I would crochet into the chain, but because the directions say to crochet over it, I will crochet over it, and we'll see how it looks. I'm really sorry about the fan, but I'm not 100% sure I did this right. So the directions say where to put the eyes, but they don't say where on the head to put the eyes. I assume I put them where my stitch markers are. That is to say, on the side is the stitch markers, but there's nothing in the directions that tells me. So I really hope that his body doesn't end up crooked, because I don't know. Let's keep going. And I'm stuck again here. Find the point between the stitches in the previous round, and that is in the front middle of Wicket. Then count backwards 5 stitches. The front middle? This would have been a really great place for a picture. Seriously, this one needs a picture. Wish me luck. So I started this project last year. In fact, we're coming up on the anniversary of me starting this project because I started it during the Tony Awards. And the Tony Awards are in June, so really close. I was making Wicket the Ewok. That one. So, As you can see, his feet are a little tricky. They all are. All of these have that those unusual feet. I think C-3PO doesn't have it. Let me just check. No, he does. Okay. Well, apparently, that is not the easiest thing to make. So, he is not finished. I got so confused by these directions. I contacted, who, by the way, was super hard to find. I went through several channels, but I found her. And she emailed me a chart to help me. If you need a chart in order to help you figure this out, why is that chart not in the kit? I haven't seen a lot of people make this one. If they have, they've made Yoda, whose feet are different, and Yoda has their own kit in, I forget which store, but some of these are sold as like separate individual things. Some of these Thunder Bay press things. The Friends one has one too, like they sell the coffee cup and the couch separately. Anyway, Yoda has his own kit. People have made Yoda, but Yoda's feet are different. All the other ones in here, for the most part, except for Jabba the Hutt and R2-D2, pretty much have these same style feet, right? Which I am struggling to figure out. I've been crocheting for years, and this is complicated to me. I could not figure out what she was talking about, so she emailed me this chart and said, oh, this might help you. If I need a chart in order to finish this, why is the chart not in the book? I think that's a legitimate question. Has anyone else ever finished these? I don't know. So what I'm going to do is, you guys aren't going to see this yet. I'm going to try again. And I'm going to try it with R2-D2 because he's made differently. He doesn't have any feet. And, plus he's cute. But I'm going to try making him and start over, basically. Okay, I'm going to make R2-D2. So I need white, blue, silver, stuffing, and safety eyes. I'm using mostly the paint box yarn, but I also am using Brava, and actually these work really well interchangeably. So this is the Brava from Crocheting. This is paint box from Lovecrafts, and these actually work really, really well together. I would tell you the names, but they're just numbers. It's just numbers. So 239 and 203. Oh, but Brava, I believe, has a name. White. Okay, so I did the embroidery. I don't love it. You're supposed to do 3 lines and then wrap the yarn around it. Okay, fine. And then it wants me to stuff. Now that my hole is this big. Does it give you a stuffing stick or give you any tips or tricks on how to stuff? No. No, it just tells you to lightly stuff the arm. Okay, the droid has 2 arms. Now, this stitching looks a little better than this stitching. Do you want to know why? Because this stitching I did my own technique, and this one I followed the book. Okay, so our droid has 2 arms and most of a body. Okay, I still have to add some details here. I need to add these lines and this little block, and then I will attach the legs. I made R2-D2, and I actually Xeroxed these pages so I could take notes, and I'm so glad I did. First of all, here he is. Here is little R2. Okay, he's very cute. Totally agree. But he is far from perfect. I have notes. Note number 1. The hook size does not match the instructions. So it says here under materials to use a 3.5 millimeter E crochet hook. They give you a 3.25 or a D. In fact, they even tell you right up front that those are the materials in your kit. Right there. I can't find one pattern in here that isn't made with an E hook, not a D hook. The words increase and decrease are good words, very good words, great abbreviations too. INC, DEC, very simple. You know what's not simple? Trying to figure out if you're supposed to do 2 stitches or 2 stitches. Allow me to give you an example. 2 single crochet in the next stitch, single crochet in the next 2 stitches. Not confusing at all. Now yes, you can figure out what that means, but just use increase and decrease. I really wish that was a standard for every single crochet pattern. Just say increase and decrease. It's so much easier, and it's much easier on a beginner's brain. One of the instructions says that I need to install the safety eye, right? This little guy. I need to install the safety eye, and here's what it says. Fit the 7.5 millimeter eye between rounds 4 and 5, positioning the start of the round at the back of the body. What does that sound like to you? Positioning the start of the round at the back of the body. That sounds like I should put the eye back here. That's a terrible idea, because clearly that would not look good. So what I did was I positioned my center, flattened it, turned it around, and then found the center on this side. And that's where I placed the eye. Does it say to do any of that? No. Was it way easier? Yeah. Does it look better? So much. See this little embroidery around the eye? Backs of safety eyes are thick and large. They have to be larger than the eye. That's how they work. Installing that safety eye means putting the back on. Did they tell you not to put the back on? No. Should they? Absolutely. Why? Because if the back is in your way, it is so much harder to stitch. Now, I know this, and I was a fool, and I decided to listen to the instructions. Totally forgot about the embroidery that I can see on the cover has to happen. And so my embroidery is wonky, and it was a pain to get around the little safety eye back. Little, it was not little, it was big. Big and thick. Speaking of which, because it was big and thick, I had to use my safety eye tool in order to install this. My fingers could not push this down. Does it come with a tool? No. Does it say to use a tool? No. Does it say pushing the eyes might be difficult? No, it does not. Anywhere. I appreciate that they are large backs. I do. But, you know, they have cheap little tools that you can just push down, which if you're going to charge this much for a kit anyway, include one of those if you're going to make those kind of backs. Because it was a real struggle to get these eyes on. And I say eyes because you also had to install them in the arms. I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, tell me don't put the back on, then do the embroidery, then tell me put the back on now. Doesn't say that anywhere. The embroidery, I'm not a fan. So what they want you to do, which I explained in the short, was that you're supposed to do 3 strands and then wrap it around, attaching it to every single stitch on the way up, which is what I did on this side. And I don't like it. So what I did on the second arm was I did that. I wrapped it around super tight, and I only attached it to the arm, the white part, every 5 or 6 stitches. And it looks so much better than the other side. Also, I was supposed to do that wrappy thing on the front. This looks fine. I don't even see why it's necessary on the front, because on the front you don't have to do multiple strands, you just do 1. I think it looks fine. Yeah, you don't need to do the wrappy thing on the front. I think that's completely unnecessary. However, the instructions for how to do this: change to blue yarn. So 3 horizontal lines across the front of each with the first 3 rounds of white, making sure you do not pull them too tightly. Sew over each line vertically as many times to create a solid, thick line. You don't need to do that. But also, does it say where to put them? Did you hear where? In the front, yes. How many stitches apart? How do I center it? None of that. You know how I figured it out? The photo. And I counted how many stitches on each side were still white before the arm. And that's how I figured it out. Doesn't even say see photo for reference or anything like that. So, yeah. This is one of the easier patterns in the book, people. Just thought I'd mention that. Let's talk about the arms. Installing the little safety eye so that you can clamp them inside the body. I've seen that technique many times. However, if you do not stuff it right, it is a pain because the safety eye moves. Did mine move? Oh yeah, all over the place. There's nothing solid in there. So the little eye moves all over the place, and trying to grab it to clamp it was a nightmare. So now fix the legs firmly and place on either side of the body. Push the shanks of the safety eyes between, hold on, it's on the next page, the 10th and 11th round to secure the washers. Okay, fine, there's even a picture, whatever. But if you don't stuff the top of the arm properly, everything's gonna move around. Does it say to stuff the arm really well? Actually, no, it says stuff the arm very lightly. So when I went in to clamp them in, first of all, I had to use my tool because that thing was so hard to clamp in place. Also, here's something interesting. We were given these little white circular backs. See if you can tell. That is a metal washer, not plastic. Thinner and a whole lot easier to install. These really thick ones, I tried so hard to get them on with my hands, and no, I needed my tool. I needed my safety eye snapper. There was no other way. So you're gonna need some kind of safety eye jig in order to install these eyes. They technically are eyes, but they're used as joints here. When to stuff? When to stuff was so confusing. In fact, they even wanted you to stuff the head before you did the embroidery for the eye. You'd get caught in fluff the whole time. No. Sew, then stuff. All of this, honestly. Sew all of this, then stuff. Let's go back to our little Ewok friend. So here's my little Ewok. He is not finished because I got an email from Lucy, the designer, and she gave me this. The Star Wars Mini Amigurumi Patterns General Instructions for Making Feet. General instructions for making legs. These are fantastic. These are great. These are not in the book. I'm sorry, I'm confused. You had to send me a 2 charts that are not in the book for me to be able to finish this. I had to email her, which was not easy to find her, to ask her what is up with this pattern. She sends me this. Great. It's not in the book. Anywhere. I went through this whole book multiple times, looking to see if I missed something. I went online to see if there was like a little link or something that you could go and find these and print them off yourself. I cannot find a link to any of this information anywhere. How are you supposed to finish the pattern if you don't have a very important chart? Okay. Y'all, I want to be fair on these kits. That's why I keep doing them. I keep hoping that they'll work. I know there are people who have done multiple things and stuff, but guess what? They don't review them when they do them. You just see them in their background, or they talk about how cute it was and stuff like that to make them. But they do not talk about all the things they've had to fix. Also, every single one of those people that I've seen make these kits, they're all advanced crocheters. They all know how to fix the mistakes that the pattern puts in there. I want to make this super, super clear. I do not believe this is a pattern designer error. Because these are all different designers who do these. I have books by a lot of these designers. They are not bad pattern writers at all. I believe this is a Thunder Bay Press issue. They do not have editors that understand crochet patterns. And I think that's where all the translation gets lost. Now, not including certain pictures, that could have been a designer's choice, but it also could have been a publishing choice, so we don't know. But I do believe that if it is a publishing choice, designers need to have more say in what pictures go in there, because several of these could have used pictures. And charts. When I rate these kits, and I do a lot of these, when I rate these, you need to know I am rating them on how doable they are if you don't have any of the advanced experience, I guess, knowledge. How would you fix this as a beginner? That is one thing I don't like them saying, is that these are beginner friendly and stuff. I haven't found that to be true yet. I have made the Princess kit. I have made the Star Wars kit. I'm working on the Friends kit. I've made several of these, and I will continue to make them because I'm a glutton for punishment. No, because I want to tell you guys what's up. I do not deny that this little guy is very cute. Yes, you are. He's very cute, and he looks great. Look, he looks great on his shelf. Look at that. He even stands up on his own. But making him, I wanted to pull my hair out. So once I started doing things that were like, this is how I would do it, it was fine. But beginners can't do that. They don't know how yet. They don't know how to take a pattern and go, oh, it doesn't work for me this way, so I'll adjust it. They can't do that. So don't say it's beginner friendly when it's not. I wanted to cry for her. I watched Nerdy Crafter do the Princess kit that I have done. As someone who has never taken a crochet class in her life. Poor thing. I felt so bad for her. She was so frustrated. And I don't blame her. I don't blame her. Because they're not for beginners. They're not. Honestly, every single one of these I have ever seen, I would say, not even advanced beginner, I would say intermediate and beyond. I haven't found a beginner one yet. There's still time, but I haven't found one yet. So the number one problem I have with these kits is the fact that they keep saying they're beginner friendly. The second thing is, you need an editor who understands crochet patterns. Because whatever you're doing to these patterns to make them work for your book, doesn't work. It's frustrating. We have to contact the designer, who gives us extra materials that are not in the book, should be. Now, if this was in the book, I would not be nearly as upset as I am because, okay, they give me a chart to try and figure this out. It's still complicated, believe me, but I could do this. And I will finish this little guy because I want one. I want an Ewok. No offense. I love you. You're my pattern. But I want this one. So I will finish it using this chart. But for this video, that didn't make any sense and it didn't seem fair because y'all don't have this chart. Lucy, if you're watching, go back to them and ask them to add the chart in the back of your book. Or there needs to be a link for inside the box for extra materials. That works too. I think they did that for the Wizard of Oz one. I know there was an extra page that people were confused on one of the patterns, and so they created a little like PDF of something. So. R2-D2 as a pattern, I would rate a 6 out of 10 because it was not nearly as frustrating as this. So I would rate him a 6 out of 10. But the entire package, this kit, the whole kit, 4 out of 10. Yeah, it's a fail because you need this to make almost all the patterns in the book. They all have those legs. Yoda doesn't. R2-D2 doesn't. Jabba the Hutt doesn't. But Boba Fett, Darth Vader, Chewbacca, Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, Wicket, Princess Leia, C-3PO, Stormtrooper all have those legs. All of them. So, 4 out of 10. Don't recommend this one. Sorry to have a downer on Star Wars Day, but if you want free patterns, join my Facebook group and make these two little cuties, which are beginner friendly. Sorry, y'all. This is one of the saddest ones I've seen yet. I will let you vote on the next one. I'm working on Friends right now, but the next one I will let you vote and tell me which one you want to see next. Peanuts, My Little Pony, or Zootopia. Tell me in the comments which one you want me to try next. I'm still holding out hope one of these will work.
If you are an advanced crocheter who knows how to adapt to crazy pattern instructions, you have your own tools and yarn, and you feel like doing these patterns, then you can make it. If you are a beginner, please try a different kit.
Thanks for joining me on another episode of Gift or Garbage. Now, it doesn't matter what I said in this review. Your opinion is what matters the most. And so if you like it, that's great. If I hated it, that's okay. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion here. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. And I hope you have a great day. Remember, life happens, yarn helps, and spoonies can stitch it up too.